Good morning, friends of the electrified charging fun, and welcome at Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. Yes, it's early in the morning. I'm near Hamburg and I have 900 kilometers of a road trip ahead of me back home. And whenever I do a longer distance drive with my ENYAQ, the question arises, how do you do the charge planning and the navigation? What app are you using? Is it Pump or ABRP or Skoda System or Charging Time and whatever they are all called? But the most requests I get for the classic app in that round, and this is ABRP, a better route planner. And more often it is asked, how do you do it with live data? And we do that exactly in this video. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. So first off, I did the route and charge planning with the integrated navigation. This is what Skoda thinks I should do. It's 880 kilometers to drive, and there are two chargers, one Shell Recharge and one I never heard of, Despi Spiri whatsoever. And it's kind of funny that Skoda thinks I can do it with two charge stopovers. I bet this will not happen. Also, I do not want both of them because, as you may know, I'm only traveling with Ionity, but you could choose any other provider, doesn't matter. So now let's do the same with ABRP. Let's fire up the app. And I already entered the address I want to go, so I hit plan the route. Please excuse for the German app, it's early in the morning, I don't want to switch language. Now it's doing the charge planning, and there you go. This seems to be a much better solution than the one from the Skoda ENYAQ. You see I've got 4 Ionities as I wished for to charge up. That looks like a really good plan. Here you go. And basically about all the settings I've done in the app to get that charge planning we talk about at the first charge stopover, so I can hit the road and far away from Hamburg before it gets later in the day. You see I'm connected to my OBD adapter, so basically ABRP gets live data. And of course you can also make use of this in Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but for Apple CarPlay this here is a premium function, you have to pay for it. There you go. You also see the charge planning right here, and of course we can hit start and do the driving. You can also hit start here, doesn't matter. So let's hit start, and you've got the navigation, you've got the first charge planner up here in the corner, and if you hit the info button you get the info about that charge planner. Funny, it says 0 out of 4 charging points available, but I'm pretty sure this is not the truth, but let's check it nonetheless before we hit the road. Therefore, it might be good to have the Ionity app. In my case, if the data is wrong, it would be a tough thing to not have the charger working. So, but there you go, it's Hearts West and 4 out of 4 are available. So there's wrong data. It happens, but now let's hit the road and do. So 300 kilometers driven, I'm at the first charge stop over. I hit it with 5% SoC, already up 28%. And basically, where I'm here now was nothing where ABRP wanted to go. The first one ABRP suggested, that was named Knüllwald, was not reachable, too far away. And ABRP mentioned that after a couple of kilometers driven, said you will not make it, should I plan an alternative? And it did, but the alternative which ABRP gave me was called Hearts West, and Hearts West I would have hit with over 30% SoC despite my settings in ABRP that I want to be at 10% or lower. And so I didn't went to Hearts West for obvious reasons, and in that moment I thought I gave the ENYAQ again a try, did the planning with the ENYAQ, and the ENYAQ wanted to go to a Tesla supercharger, namely that one in front of me. Do you see what's happening there? Exactly. They are changing the old superchargers and they want to put new ones there. Everything is on construction. Yes, I wouldn't charge over there. So basically I did a manual planning, selected the Ionity for myself and went here. And for the next stopover, I hope I will make it to Ohrenbach West. Would be great to see if ABRP is usable for that. So let's see. And maybe I have wrong settings. This could also be a reason. Before we go into the settings of ABRP, I need a coffee. I have my portable espresso machine again with me because I left so early at the hotel that there was no breakfast available for me. And back there at the station you only get such machine coffee, which is just gruesome and awful. So I'll do my own right now again with my portable machine. I have brought my own coffee with me. I grinded it at home so I can make use of it directly here. Don't have to bring my grinder. Machine is already heating up, and now let's dig into those settings of ABRP. First off, of course, I have configured my ENYAQ up here, a Skoda ENYAQ model year 24 plus RS version with a heat pump. You see that the OBD dongle is connected. It reads and gets data from here. Now you see the charging. The SoC is 57, here it is 54. I guess it's taking the SoC from the battery management system, not from the display. Then next up, basically a lot of data I will show you right now he is getting from the OBD adapter, but I have set to 99% when leaving because I had 99%. The reference consumption I went a bit up because I'm pretty sure my ENYAQ needs under those conditions as of now way more. Then for my stopover strategy, I prefer a longer charging but less charging, so I go with this option instead of having a lot of charging stopovers which are rather short. I don't have any charging cards. Here I said that I prefer Ionity, and basically that's already it. Within the battery I have settings that 10% SoC when reach my destination or a charge stopover is pretty fine for me. Max charge up is 80%, and that's it. Speed limit, yes, I put in 100. Oh, there you hear it. My coffee is now ready to boil and it's producing a fine espresso. So excuse me for the sound. So the machine is done. Back to the settings. I have set my maximum speed to 130, which obviously is not correct. Sometimes I go 150 or more. But basically also this is taken into account from the OBD dongle, and there you go, that's it. I don't have much more settings done, and this is enough for me. Maybe you can do way more settings, more clever things. You can write me in the comments if you know them. But now I will drink my coffee and do a small breakfast. As you know, I'm trying out gadgets for the ENYAQ all the time. Some of them are pure nonsense and some of them are helpful. And today we've got something where I would say 1 out of the 4 parts might be helpful, whilst the rest, you don't need. Now we're talking about putting things into the car. So let's have a look down here. This is a 4-piece set you find on Amazon. I'll give you an affiliate link, but you can buy these pieces single-wise on AliExpress. You don't have to get the set. Well, first one, you have this little box here. If this is too much storage for you or you need some compartments, you have them in here and it perfectly fits in. It's nice, and you could put stuff in those little compartments if you need it. This is the most useful part out of this 4-piece kit. The next thing I would say is rather nonsense. It's this little piece of plastic to put here. It sits quite well behind the screen, and you could maybe put a lot of stuff in it. And yeah, the idea of the manufacturer is to use these glue bands to fix it into position, and then yeah, you have it. I would never glue something like that behind my display, but yeah, maybe this is for you if you need more space to store items. And the last 2 pieces, therefore I have to leave my car, are down here. And basically you have some inlays like those 2 here. You see I can take them out, this one as well here on the rear, to have more compartments down there. Yeah, what should I say? I don't need them, but maybe if they are for you, if you have searched for something like this, you can have a look and maybe they are helpful for you. Here we go, the next charging stop. It's Riedenerwald West. It's not Ohrenbach West as you would suppose. And basically, this is just one stop before Ohrenbach. It's 50 kilometers from here. And why didn't I do that? Well, basically, ABRP is completely right. I would reach Ohrenbach West and I could charge up there. But I would have not reached it with 11% as ABRP is suggesting. I would say it would be rather 4 or 5%, which is also perfectly fine, don't get me wrong. But so I went out one stop before at an Ionity. Everything was free here. Now everything is occupied. Basically, I had 22% SOC. This is rather high for me. I like to go charging below 10%. So ABRP is not to blame here. It's a personal decision because I will have a third stopover for charging, that's for sure. And therefore I thought it doesn't matter if I'm not driving these 50 kilometers because the charge, the third one will come no matter what. And so I decided for me that stop here is perfectly fine. And basically this is also something I would like to know from you. Write me in the comments. Do you just simply follow what your route planner says, no matter which one you use? Or do you make your own decisions along the way like I did here? Curious how much you trust on those systems or follow those systems and how much you do it on your own. And for the data for ABRP, I'm using this OBD dongle here. It's linked as an affiliate link down in the description. It works perfectly fine, but just to say it's a rather cheap one and it has no security. Meaning, if you keep it plugged in and someone is walking by with a smartphone, he would be able to connect to this. And that means he might use some fraudulent software to open up your car. Also, if you keep that connected, it could happen that the alarm will sound when someone is trying to connect from outside whilst the doors are locked, because the ENYAQ thinks someone is tampering with the OBD port. So this is a perfect fine solution if you just remember to plug it in when driving and plug it out when not driving and parking your car. The last charging stop, Illertissen. Exactly as ABRP has planned it. I've hit the charger with 14 instead of 22%, but that doesn't matter at all. Already up 40% from 14. 165 kilometers till home, 168 already charged. So this will not be a long charging stop. I will make myself some coffee and have something to eat right now, and then it's only a short distance to home. And finally, I'm back home. And as you can see, it's not 4 p.m. And since I've left at 6:30 in the morning, it didn't take 9.5 hours. Basically, it took 9 hours and 25 minutes to drive back home, or in other words, to drive 876 kilometers. I did it in 8 hours and 40 minutes with an average consumption of 22.6 and average speed is 102. And now you might say this is not fast, but I really tried. Whenever there was unlimited in Germany, I drove at least 140, more often 150 to 160. You see it in the consumption. Yet there are so many speed limits and so many construction sites, you don't manage to drive really faster than this. And I had no traffic jams, no complications on the route. It was a clear drive through. But there's another important thing to see. You know how long did I charge? 3 charge stops, but that's roughly an hour. 1 hour on 900 kilometers. And basically this is also my rest duration. And if you do the math, you could say every 300 kilometers I did half an hour of a break. And basically that's something you need. You can't even deny that. I would say in the end, with a combustion engine, you wouldn't have managed to be faster unless you do not make any rests or breaks, but you should. So that's a quite good result for the tour. Another thing is ABRP has proven itself. So basically it worked nearly flawlessly. The first stopover was not so great, but I guess it's because it does not have so much data from me. I'm using it rarely. But the second and the third one were perfect. The second one was only skipped due to my personal preferences, which ABRP couldn't know at that time. And there it is. More often I end up doing a manual charge planning with all the hassle and issues you've got with that and you've got with the ENYAQ. I would be still interested. What do you think? Write me in the comments. Do you like ABRP? Did this little tutorial and show off of this road trip help you? Write me in the comments. Or are you more like me doing it all manual? And if you liked the whole video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss out any new video or content here. And then stay tuned for the next episode, and until then, stay full of energy.